Hey, good morning, everyone. All right, so update yesterday, big gap. Surprised it moved as much as it did after the gap, but let me get the charts up here. Um, it's one of those situations of a little too much too fast after Friday's low, which often leads to a consolidation day. Today's gap down so far, not a big deal. I think I put them up there. Hold on. All right, share. Okay. All right. So look at where they are with the gap effects, or as what's preceded it, and gapping down a little bit here inside of yesterday's range, middle of the bar. So a little bit more than what we'd like to see after an up bar, but considering how far it came from Friday's low, I think it's reasonable. And from the bullish point of view, positive that it's not gapping under yesterday's low. And on a short term basis, it's not gapping up because I think that would be pretty high probability it would get sold into. I mean, it's just a big move from Friday's low up there. And so looking around, what what's moving, it's this typical suspects, the big caps, and we'll take a look at the mags and we'll see what we go from here. But yeah, this is a bad tick. You can see, it's a bad tick right there. And from a bullish point of view, we really don't want to see this going all the way back down to the lows and closing there. But you know what? It could. I mean, in reality, what we've got going on here is a trading range. And, just thinking about end of day rallies and what have you. Can I have that line there? Whatever, you get what I mean. We just got a big wide trading range and you can see that. Well, let's look at the without the overnight trading. It really gives a better perspective of the extent of that move. And now, it's going to gap down about here. So, the gap down really isn't a big deal. However, there's a big hole underneath here. And one point of view, my point of view, of course, would be I'd like to see it hold here, thinking of, it could go higher, maybe tomorrow, or maybe in the afternoon if it consolidates. And the other point of view is, if it can clear here, there's a nice opportunity for it to go all the way back down. And overall, that could be an intermediate term positive for an end of year rally to kind of let the steam out of this, maybe get some kind of a retest and a more constructive pattern where things gap down, fill the gap, go sideways. And that's all, wishful thinking. We'll see how it unfolds. But as of today, yesterday's low is first support and high first resistance. And as we talked, it's gapping around here in the middle of that range. So doesn't leave much room for moves of significance one way or another initially. Why not a V bottom? It could be. Well, it could be. Look, we've seen it before, but you know, it does a V bottom doesn't it creates this opportunity in these indices. But based on this breadth internal here, it doesn't present an opportunity as to lifting all boats, so to speak. Um, so I'd like to see, it's my point, my wish, I'd like to see this market broaden out and things move in more unison. Now, coming into today, I thought, IWM and the Dow would have a greater opportunity. I'm going to see where they're opening up here, but that's gapping down as well. Let's see where are my other charts here. Where is it gapping down to? Uh, change 243 and change. And That's gapping like a little bit below the open, which again is not a big deal. So looking for setups, if this is going to be a V bottom, I'd really like to see the Russell hold up here because this has got a lot of room to go up if it can clear this area. So a consolidation day today that chops around over here and then to be able to get above this area would present a much better opportunity, to take advantage of a relatively large move, on a short-term basis. And again, V bottoms, they're more volatile, more uh, erratic kind of thing, just whip down and right back up again. But some type of consolidation and up through here is just higher probability setup, easier to trade. Let's put it that way, easier to trade. I think the Dow, similarly, let's see where that's gapping to. DI. It's showing relative strength, but this doesn't move that much pre-market, but we'll look at the futures. But you can see here, it's got the same nice room to move higher. So a consolidation today and then up tomorrow or the rest of the week would would be great. So anytime you get a move that's, too far too fast and it holds on to the gain, that's bullish. And with a pattern like this, which could build a little bit more of a consolidation, even if it dips down and comes up, historically is a high probability pattern for a substantial move, right? Not a whipsaw type of a move. And spiders, we'll just go back here to the 24-hour chart. Small gap down, not a big deal. We'll see how it holds up. Yesterday's low support. Ideally, it doesn't go down there, chops around here. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, we've got a big hole underneath. So after a move like that, we'd like to see it go sideways here a little bit, digest the gain, and then go higher. All right. Diamonds, we looked. Here's SPX. I already updated, but I'll double check that. Things haven't moved very much since I did that. Nothing got touched yesterday. Morning, Tim. Good morning, French. 67.40. So I always look at the half number, but I'll move this out of the way so that could be seen. It's below the half number, so that's good. It's gapping down around here. So that's plenty far away. And unless, something negative news comes out, odds are it's not going down there. And 68, 65, still not, it hasn't moved. So high probability it's not going down unless something happens that suppresses the market. Higher odds that it's going up. Not sure about today, but that's the extremes for today. 5-day average true range is opened up further, 90 points. So, with a big move like that. And it's a big trading range. Pivot high. That's not a pivot yet. We need to, today and tomorrow to make it a pivot. Odds are it's going to become a pivot low because it shouldn't go all the way back down there. So all we need is 2 more days to the right. That becomes pivot. Okay. Bitcoin's down a bit here. Still in the, downtrend. It's on support in that major support area down there. And, not going anywhere. Just chopping back and forth. Gold still looks like the best thing. Like it can go higher. It's stuck at this resistance for the moment. Let's see. Again, Just simply looking to the left. It's that resistance there. Consolidating a little bit. Silver. Silver. Yeah. Leading the way higher. Coming up to some resistance. See right there. Got a little bit more room to go higher before it hits that area. Looks good. And a 5 minute. Yeah, consolidating near the high. That looks good. Like it should be able to get up to that next level, but it's also come a long way in a short amount of time. Interest rates. Well, closed today. Bond market's closed today for Veterans Day. If we have any veterans out there, thank you for your service. And crude oil holding up relatively well. Park pushed a little under the pivot and came right back up again. Plenty of overhead resistance there. YH. That looks so different. So different sectors as you break it down. That looks great. And some of these stocks like this Halliburton was it's really a bit erratic, but that looks like it should be able to break out and go higher. So B, consolidating at resistance. You can see the weekly chart there. Keep an eye on some of them. You can look in here, this one as well. Oil and gas went up well. It's a gas stock. Yeah, a little sloppy, but you can see comparative to the more broader XLE, which is starting to bring up the rear. So energy looks pretty constructive, like it can move up. Semiconductors down here a little bit today, and those are gapping down near yesterday's low. So still within a trading range, but a little bit more of a bearish gap. You want to keep an eye on this to see if it trades under that low and starts heading lower. That certainly would help drag the NASDAQ 100 down. And there's stuff out there that looks kind of terrible, like this. And that's internet and software had a big bounce with, Microsoft, which got pretty killed after its earnings, but down on major support and had a decent bounce from there. So yeah, I think, this is the one, Dan, you put a put spread on yesterday. So that looks pretty darn good. And look, you're just looking at a little broader out there. Magnificent Seven. You're just trading range. Amazon. Overall, after gap ups from earnings and consolidating like that, historically they go higher. Apple got rejected again. I would set an alert just to be aware if semiconductors are moving lower and Apple trades under this base here. For an intraday trader, that's good information as to what's helping to drag the markets down. I mean, over here, the advanced decline numbers were very positive, but again, fewer stocks pushing it up. Google looks the best. It's gapping down a little bit, but that looks the best out of the Magnificent Seven. And Amazon, we looked at that. Meta looks not so good. Right? That got killed. And, Netflix, a little double bottom there. Not even so sure about a put spread, but when you get a little retest and reversal, but this is damaged goods. So other than that, we'll see what today brings, and we'll see if things get that consolidation day and what opportunities it brings. So all yours, Dan.
Morning. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a consolidation day also. We'll always find something good to trade here. We put on a ton of new trades yesterday. Go through alarms, earnings. All right, alarms. AEP. Had an up alarm go off here, 123.50. So I tightened the stop to break even. Reiner to air. Had an up alarm go off. We bought a 5-minute high yesterday, so that's looking good. November golf, little gold stock. My up alarm went off, but now it's coming back in. Now let's watch that on a pullback. Al, I had an up alarm. Oh, I had a down alarm on this tail. Not sure if that's real or not, but I reset it. Below, I posted long. I like that. What's the entry? 180.16. We actually had that in the weekend letter, and then I canceled it, and now it's back on. Charlie Bravo bought this yesterday. Little up alarm went off there. And Gulf Delta bought yesterday. Buy setup. Big old turn. I don't see any prints. I don't know why my alarm went off, but looks great. Those were all my alarms. A couple miscellaneous news things here. So yeah, looks like even for day trade, IART has one not crazy about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna pass on that one. This is still posted from the weekend letter. It's now a 123. BXP did not trigger. Now it's a 123. Looks good. NUE, we had short puts on this. I have an alarm up here, 144.50. If that triggers, then it's a buy setup with a new low plus. Well, that's we usually use that term for double bottom. So it's a failed buy setup with a reversal, new low reversal is what it's called. And herb, oh, this thing exploded. Now it's back down, kind of looks like a pump and dumper. A Meta, their tech guys taking off, go form his own company. That could be a put spread. Yesterday's high, which I doubt will trigger with the gap down. Now, Wigme, the Bitcoin miners, this looks like a big topping pattern. If you consider your flagpole way down here, that's an M top. Climo monthly. I looked for, there's no premium though. Sell call spreads. XPAP. So this, we missed this yesterday. Hey, Greg, look at the volume as a bear sandwich. Never seen a bear sandwich in volume. So that's a big old closing breakout. Look at the monthly. Monthly says it's going to 35, but the daily's too extended. That's a big move yesterday. Let's watch that. The SoftBank guy said he dumped all his NVIDIA. Now this to me looks like a 30-minute low day trade short. Look at it gap into yesterday's low and you got a void. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then the same guy said he dumped TMUS also, but this one's gapping up $1. So that's actually a good sign that it might be the start of bottoming. LIF, I don't know if this was earnings or not, but ugly gap. Rig T, I think that was earnings, but that has room to fall. I think that can come to 25. ASTS was earnings or his competitor. No pattern. All right, let's go to earnings here now. Bavay, 685, some big old gap, but it's gapping to a wall of resistance. Rig team. Oh, this one I just go to 25. Looks lower. Curve. So that's another AI play. That is gapping down. I wish it were gapping to 90 for me to want to fade it. 97 is here, so no, I got no trade on that. Rocket Lab 56. Possible 30-minute high in put spread. Let's get into the top of that Thursday's ugly red bar. Epoxy bottoming pattern, 30-minute high, put spread. East Sky 1635. I think it's just a bounce and a downtrend. It's nothing to get excited about. iHeart 415. Now, because of this explosive move, daily, weekly, monthly, let's see what this does. If it can fill the gap, negate this gap down, then that will show a lot of strength. This one gapping up, but now the gap's too big. If it were gapping up just to yesterday's high, I would like it, but you can see it kept going. Tidewater. This was I shorted the 50 puts yesterday. So that's gapping against me. But I sold them for $1.45. So I should have a nice profit after 5 minutes. CDW, so I'll be watching to get out of that. HCAT getting at $3. Just not quality. It's a bullish gap. I'd rather just stay in cash and not chase things. This is what I call a headache pattern. Overlapping bars. Same with this. But if this opens flat, this could be a 10-minute low short. Because look at daily, weekly. Look horrible. So let's watch that for 5 minutes. See, and then E. E dot, big mess. Now this was a potential retest, but this is a great example of there's zero turn. W bottoms, we want a potent turn. My up alarm, I had an alarm at 490. Actually went off, but now it's back down, so I got no interest in that. This one I like, SCM. I put it in this middle chart here. Potential bottoming pattern. There's a wall of resistance. Things are just not quality here, setups. And I am not one to push bad setups. Garden, I wouldn't mind if it gave us an inside bar, 1, 2, 3 for tomorrow. That's one of the better looking things I've seen so far, but the day hasn't even started yet. Actually, I'll put guard in here. Don't need curve. Uh, Nothing to do now, but if it can get above this resistance, it has room. 1230, another bottoming pattern, but it's a little bit excessive. And DSP headache bar, but it's a big old gap. A gap's too big. Need a pullback. And that's it. I don't have any interesting earnings stocks. All right, Southeast is a mess. AU, another gold stock gapping up. So it's we entered GDX yesterday, and I sold puts on this leveraged one, Alpha Golf Quebec. So that's looking good. NBIS 115. It's a mess. Nothing to do. Let's say there you go. That one could be 30-minute high. For a day trade, I don't think it has a huge target, but maybe 50 MA would be my target for a day trade. Let's see. All right, those are all the earnings. Oscar Mike is getting killed. Yuck. XPAD I mentioned. All right, I am done here. So I do not have a big watch list. These are leftover from yesterday in BOH, but there's no Boyd. That was last Wednesday's MT Live. It's breaking out, but look to the left. You got a wall of defensive linemen. WHD is kind of a bull flag, but I think that's a pattern where you're going to need the market oomph. And I don't, after yesterday's big rally, I don't, today is not, at least starting off, it's not starting off as an oomph day. This IBIT and ETH, Bitcoin and Ether had nice gaps yesterday from Climos. Just nice setup. There's our GDX. ATI, not bad. I got an alarm at 99. APM bottoming pattern, that would be more of a put spread. CNK took off. Cinemark. Oh, that's the competitor at AMC. But that's a big bar. KBDC. All right, I'm gonna have to wait 5 minutes for my Tide water, because I just know these jerks. The spreads are gonna be asinine. All right, this alarm went off, but I don't see anything. Hey, USAR triggering. There you go. That could be a day trade or swing. Halliburton up alarm. Cool. Halliburton, we're already in this, but acting better. So I'll reset the alarm. About 28.30. Because then if it hits 28.30, I will be moving the stop to break even. Our cost basis, let's set a new alarm, 27.40. Foxtrot Romeo alarm. Did we enter that? Yeah, we did. We entered on the gap fill yesterday. All right, so that's a low alarm, but nothing to do right now. Diamonds IWM, like Greg's title said, are starting off the best here. Diamonds, IWM. I like diamonds better. IWM is, you know, under more resistance. So I think, but I like the 15-minute chart pre-market going sideways, but I'm not rushing into anything. Fang department, Apple, it's showing some strength. Charlie Bravo, up alarm. Let's move stop break even now. RT, Charlie Bravo.
I didn't look at it pre-market as the fangs, but Nvidia gapped down to yesterday's low, and it was a wide range green bar.
Yeah, it said pre-market 30-minute low day trade short.
Yeah, news, huh?
Yeah, SoftBank guy dumped his shares. IART and day trade only. I'm just not excited about the broader market here. Charlie Bravo.
Diamonds got rejected, but if it can brush that off for a while, definitely higher. We'll see if it holds.
LDOS. Yeah, I don't like those patterns when they come down hard like that. So let me ASTS alarm went off, but no pattern. KBDC. Ah, now I can see the print. Gap's too big. Red Robin. Ah, it actually went down, but it actually, you know what? If this turns out to be a big old reversal bar, then it could be the double bottom, new low reversal. EGY, garbage, FE, an up alarm, just a retest pattern. Let me check my type order. Oh, shoot. All right. But I should still have them. Yeah, I got an open profit, but the spreads are freaking nuts. 40 by 130. Man, I can't stand these market makers that do this shit. All right, I'm going to bid 70, which would be 50% of max profit. No fill. Oh, below hit. Below. Greg, do you know what a Volare is?
But Laurie, wasn't that a song?
No, an automobile.
Yeah, what kind?
I think Chrysler. I think I think that Esteban guy used to get on there and say this luxurious ballade. See, Don, how my
I think it is an old Italian song.
oh, it could be Plymouth. See how my brain just remembers useless information. Oh yeah, Plymouth is Chrysler again. Well, the guy, there was actually a song in the commercial too. It's Ballade. Maybe he sung the song you're talking about.
Probably.
Yes. All right. So our Velo Velare hit. That's why I'm talking about it. And USAR hits. So we've got two triggers this morning. Let's see. Oh, alarm. Yep, Q's didn't get very far. Tidewater moving up, and the frigging jerk's not adjusting his quote. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to buy the lower puts, and then it'll be easier to get out. Wow, and he's not even filling me, giving me a nickel. Man, this market maker is a king jerk. Oh, see, and then E, that's what we call a bull gap that varies. So that's the opposite of the bear gap that bullies. Tick new low, AD line keeps deteriorating. IWM new low. So it's a mess here. I'm not doing anything. Just managing. up too much for me unless you're just day trading it, John. Then buy it here, stop days low. I like the monthly and weekly actually. I just don't like the daily entry. But no, I'm not as crazy about the weekly, and the monthly doesn't have this. You see how I had to open it up, and there's no void on the monthly.
Short SOXL. Maybe gap fill here.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Yeah, kind of look like in the video too, right? Sock soles, right, right. They look very similar. Sure, sure. Yep, I'll join you.
The Qs tried to move up and got knocked back down. I hate the gap up above, you know, but looks like it's going to go down first. It did whip up and down.
Man, I hit the bid and it didn't get filled. Unless it just dropped on me. Yeah, because I hit the bid. Okay, there, I just got filled on that little bounce.
Talking about the Qs or SOXL?
Soxel.
Huh?
Soxel. This.
Yeah,
Soxel.
yeah, yeah. I did hit the bid.
Right, right. I didn't get filled initially, but I did on a 10 seconds later on a bounce. Yeah, it's because you all are quicker than I am, I guess. This SCM middle chart, but no void. This garden, obviously, no more 1, 2, 3. Let's say garbage. Here. And Netflix. Not now we got our double bottom. Now the problem is there's not going to be any juice. Right where my line is, that's the 1100s. Wow, it's spreading 1095. Uh, Great, we can do a 1095. Yeah, let's do that. I know it's at resistance, obviously, on the daily, so I would never buy it here
Mhm.
unless you were just, trading the 15-minute chart. But put spreads are different, I'll finally get out of my tide water. That's 60. The video is still weak at the low, but our sock sole's bouncing a little. at this poor Sprouts. Still no turn. Halliburton new high, so we can move stop. Well, no, it's still too early to go break even. But yeah, oil sector's doing good. Yeah, below, off to a good start. AMD, Investors Day, all right.